We can sell, but you haven't got a lot of money.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver?
Ooh.
Poison? Get to the point.
You have a lot of gold. It's not very good armor. Fire resistance ring could be quite good. Plus one, we don't have anybody that does pickpocketing. But knives. That's not a bad bow. With fire damage. 351. Okay, let's load up. Question is, what do we want to sell? I don't think this gear is going to be any use to anyone. That's quite good. It's quite hefty to attack with though, so I don't want it. Air staff I'll keep. The broom is a weapon, so that can go. I'm never going to use them. No. Well, I don't know, we'll keep. That can go, that can go. That may as well go, that seems a bit rubbish. They can go.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Scraps and stuff I think we have to keep, right?
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Skill books. What do skill books do? I mean, they're expensive, so they're not going to be happening. We'll get rid of that as well. But
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
that'll do. And then you had stuff. We need to open that somehow.
A good day to you.
We'll keep that for now. That's going to go. That's going to go. That's going to go.
Come on, you chickens.
Starfish can probably go. I don't think we can eat it. Tiny pearl. Are we going to need a tiny pearl for anything, do we think? That'll do. I don't really want to be buying stuff at this point in the game because we've only just started. And it seems a little bit counterproductive.
You've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11? I listened in while you were talking to that would-be thief. Thank you for preserving my stock. It's no wonder you source hunters are known for setting the place straight.
Good enough, I guess.
Watch the undead quiver in their
Look at all that cheese. I accidentally pressed the wrong thing.
See if you can choose the finest greens.
I didn't mean to try and steal his cheese.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
Yes, lovely.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no?
This guy's got some money.
Halibut, sheep's
I'm a
cheese.
painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sicil, and you'd be quite right. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps, like this rooster I'm working on now, and the landscape that surrounds him.
Tomatoes.
But you can talk to the rooster.
Don't talk to me. You're making me lose focus. Can't you see I'm busy modeling? Obviously, someone's plumage isn't magnificent enough to inspire genius. All those naysayers in the past. Bah! See see what I've become. Hundreds of years from now, people will wonder, who is that cook? It must have been a grand cook, so inspired.
That perk has already paid for itself in cheap laughs. What have you got for me, Fletcher?
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing,
we've already-
silver, poison?
We've already spoken to you. Go away. Where's Captain Thingy-ma-what's-it? Scylla the Enchantress.
Gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapors?
This stuff is ridiculously expensive.
Not the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Trap disarm kit. 1,300 gold. Wow.
See, halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper. We're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
Oh, your stolen sheep.
Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand.
Work for the trio of
Sorry, can't
sailors.
help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work.
Take my leave.
Cheese, tomatoes.
There's that talking head.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
The Spud Club. What's this?
Brew 'em, spice 'em, stir and churn.
Join the Spud Club.
Welcome to the Town Hall of Syseal. Mayor Cecil is waiting for you inside.
Thanks. Mayor Cecil of Syseal.
A sauce hunter. Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes. Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now.
What happened to your brother
Oh,
Tom?
he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Orius now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town.
The Fabulous Five.
That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where.
I feel like we'll be seeing them again. Are you Cecil?
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer. My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, Source Hunter. Our city welcomes you.
Tell me about yourself.
My elf? What elf? Oh, myself. I am Cecil, Mayor of Syseal, and husband of the stately Cecilia. I've been the mayor here for decades, and I'm quite eager to see Syseal through these difficult times. Yes, very difficult times indeed.
Tell me about the issues in Syseal.
What? Oh, you mean Syseal? Very difficult times indeed. As though the death of Jake, and by source magic no less, weren't enough. We're also facing all sorts of brutish intruders. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs are making a habit of savaging our beaches. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult or some such, sticking its tendrils into the innocent, seven-fearing folks of Sicil. And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic I rather foolishly sought. A weapon called the Staff of Pergamon.
What's this about a staff, Pergamon?
What now? Oh, you're speaking gibberish. Ah, you mean the Staff of Pergamon. Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare staff. I managed to place the order through means somewhat, atypical to a government official. Cecil proved an old fool, though. For the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone missing. I fear it may have fallen into the wrong hands, and I wonder if you could retrieve it for me.
What do you know about the staff itself?
The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. I know use of the material to be forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the townsfolk against the undead.
Does that make sense? Tell me about the merchant.
His name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Sicil harbor. You can talk to him if you think it'd help, but I'd quite like to avoid getting the Legion involved, if you don't mind.
Well, that's what happens when you do dodgy deals. Tell me about the undead.
What? The undead? Yes, for the past 2 years those blasted skeletons have all but suffocated this city. With all but one trade route overrun, Sicil's once torrential commerce has slowed to a pathetic trickle.
And the Rivalon sects?
Well, I do believe that's something your parents ought to have discussed with you long ago, Source Hunter. But I suppose if you really don't know, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least explain the basics. Ah, you see, when a lady and a fellow find each other rather nice, well, rather more than nice, they occasionally, well,
Can we smack this guy on the side of his face?
Oh, this is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th state. I can't be bothered to chat all day about the birds and the bees when Sicil's under siege by orcs, undead, and cultists.
Yeah, tell me about the cultists. Or, you know, Councillor Jake's murder. Everyone knows Councillor Jake.
Jake? Murdered? Oh, yes. Yes, now I recall. Indeed. I could hardly believe it myself. The Councillor and I have certainly had our differences over the years, but old squabbles evaporate under such circumstances. Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, the Legion have taken her into protective custody to keep her safe from the mob. As you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit, suggestive. But I've never had cause to suspect her of violence. Still, one never knows for sure.
Who's the Duke of
An
Ferrol?
all right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor.
Can you tell me more about your library?
That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in, exactly?
Oh, God.
Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Sicil. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort you upstairs myself.
Sure, why not?
Marvelous. Follow me then.
Sounds great. Let's look at all books. Cat. Cat. Talk to the cat.
Oh, golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Sicil with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest. That is hardly a coincidence.
Bit tenuous.
But of course,
Further
darling.
questions.
Be my guest.
Tell me about Cecile.
Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea air does go to great lengths to invigorate one's spirit, that much I'll admit. And it is rather jolly to watch the ships sail in laden with all kinds of exotic wares, full of the little treats the mayor likes to spoil me with. Darling man, he dotes on me so.
This cat seems to have an amazing cat life.
Heavens forbid! No, fear is rather too strong a term there, Hunter dearest. The predator's instinct is a trait we share, you and I. And though those rancid ramblers may not be quite as easy to put to the claw as mice are, I assure you, they are just as easily outwitted.
Take my leave.
What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel in Cecile's crown. The beacon of culture and learning in our fair city. My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine, and she's got every speck of information about this place packed into her brilliant brain. Yes, Victoria's come a long way from that little
Victoria?
bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. It brings a tear to my eye just seeing her here among her beloved books.
Victoria's a cat, isn't she?
What? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way back downstairs now. Please introduce yourself. I know Victoria will be happy to make your acquaintance.
Princess Buttercup with the blush
Sure.
button. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty,
this isn't the
hasn't she?
grimoire I'm looking for.
No, Victoria is not a cat at all.
Know it by heart.
In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Getahal, be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine.
Who are you,
I'm
madame?
Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it?
Not really.
When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Cecile toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amun-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own. This kindest of souls taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride.
Okay. May I take books from the library?
Indeed you may.
Oh, cool.
The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
I mean, I can try. Hey, Nerdzoid, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're well.
Know it by heart.
That's
Place this book here.
precariously
Poetry
stacked.
among novels? Urrak! What mayhem.
No, this isn't the
Okay,
grimoire
fair enough.
I'm looking for.
That's the most scantily clad librarian I think I've ever seen.
And the first edition
Very early on in the game, Nerdzoid, but it's fun. The voice work in the... So far, the writing has been
Hello
excellent.
again, adventurer. I hope you wiped those muddy boots on your way in.
Oh yeah, we've talked to you.
No,
Sometimes
this
I
isn't
think
the
these books have
grimoire
little
I'm
legs in
looking
the night.
for. The
Magical
Silver
poison
Monarchy
dart
of
scroll.
Raymondum.
Interesting.
First edition too. Most promising.
Fun with Fluids, Volume 2. You see what I mean? Let's talk to this guy.
Omnes autem mali demonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the Protector, they have the manners of boors, these boatmen of Cecile. Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken. for you hardly resemble the local fisher folk, which, incidentally, is a compliment of copious dimensions indeed. No, a source hunter, that is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery, a chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. But it may just be to our mutual advantage to join forces nonetheless.
Why do you want to join forces? I'm good, Nerdzoid, thank you, yeah. It's really weird playing a game on a PC with a keyboard and mouse, though. I'll never get my head around that, I don't think.
Volume 1, Volume 2.
Why, simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. You are aware, of course, that quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy.
Yeah, I'm very well aware of that.
Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul, long since. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. The calculus of wizardry I offer you, the might of the magician's mastermind.
I mean, my understanding is that source is magic, and then should we not be killing you on sight?
Volume 1.
Or have I just not understood the lore of this game?
On one condition, that on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
I mean, I'm not against the idea. Very well, there will be no deals with demons.
Very well. There will be no deals with demons.
You can agree.
Agreed. Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most gratifying. I see you are firm of purpose, and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery, into the depths where demons dance. Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss. Onward, blood and triumph await.
Yeah, something like that. Right, what does he do?
Volume 1, Volume 2.
Well, he's not come with much stuff, has he?
Shut so. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
He has willpower, he has Eurosurge and Hydro. Is that air and water then? Yeah. And he's, oh, blacksmith and crafting. Interesting.
Where's the third one gone?
Far out, man.
Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, and he's got high intelligence. He can stick around. Yeah, we'll have him. I don't... Adventurer's Field Guide, Volume 5.
Rack! What mayhem!
Ah. Are we meant to take these then?
The knight in see-through armor.
That's Volume 3.
With the blushing bottom. Stenticken. Esmeralda does.
Fun with Fluids, Volume 4. There's a lot of these books. He who smelts it. I'm guessing that's more about smithing than anything else. I'll take that as well.
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone?
Can we steal this? Oh no, we don't need to steal it. It's just ours. Cracking up a crowd, the definitive guide. Take that as well. Apparently so. Is there anything else?
The knight in see-through armor.
Not worried about the empty bowls. History is Seal. Painting. We can't take the painting.
Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty.
I need you to stop talking. I can't take that. Okay. I can't take the painting. Fair enough. The town hall bathroom is also his bedroom. Oh, there's his wife's in the bath. Right, okay. Nothing to see there. Talk to the chicken. Oh my god, catching it's impossible.
I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait. Detective Kip is on the case.
Join us. Maybe not. That's such a cool little perk. I still have no clue what we're doing. Tom, the wannabe adventurer. Cecil's mighty staff. Can we, like, select one? Oh, we need to go and talk to that statue, don't we? It's over there. I still have no idea what we're actually meant to be doing. We've got to solve a murder. Is that where we came from? No. Esmeralda, right, so we need to go and talk to Esmeralda as well.
It is said, I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory...
You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head!
Tell me about this severed head.
That's right, a talking head! And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more.
Tell us a story.
I obtained this curio by some rather sensational means.
Go on.
You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sicil's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius.
Word.
Captain Pontius, you say? Yeah, he's very fabled.
Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands, but then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere.
Seems like an exceptionally tall tale, my friend. Upon Liberty, nice to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Part of the game is a tiny bit confusing. Just talk to everyone, explore it. Yeah, that's sort of the plan. I like to just walk around and see what trouble I can find, so that hopefully will work out well.
In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and leprotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut.
This tail just gets taller and taller.
Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it?
So we did all this magical stuff and found this kraken and found a chest and he tripped over the head in the end.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicil. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst, you're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh,
Apparently.
bless the seven. Look, you've got to help me. I've been kidnapped.
Not tripped over.
Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, now help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Oh, we've been to the cellar. If you're ready, I'm going to pick you up now. You won't mind a little ride in my... We've got a pocket big enough to put a stone head.
It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.
Hey, you there! Cut it out!
Fantastic!
That's not what the word said.
Think a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
My word!
This